With Scarlet Records considered on present exposure, I have only humored two of the artists they carry, those being Volturian and Frozen Crown. Both have graced this channel and both were fabulous introductions, and I have promised more incoming, for sure with the remaining members of the as it's called Frozen Crown family, Nocturna and Be the Wolf. So two have graced this channel thus far, two more are incoming, but still those groups are generally, not of course just related under the label, but related in association to being a core group of sorts. Not many outliers, as you can see, save for what I have planned upcoming at some point, and I believe I have sifted through the three groups in mind, one of which we're looking at today, Never Obey Again, or as I've seen stated by the group, I guess for short, NOAH. I kind of like that name. It's Never Obey Again. I like the titling of it. And on association to Scarlet Records, again, I might be fresh in my days of exposure to them. I have humored other European labels. Again, many of you know how much I love this space in the world, specifically under metal offerings. There's so much versatility and efficacy of craft offered abroad. But with record labels specifically, I'd say I have better exposure at present to Napalm Records, Nuclear Blast, AFM as well, like with Metalite and Dynasty, the label that carried them. Scarlet Records, still broadening out a bit, but I'm game for more, and I think Never Obey Again is going to be quite promising. Some familiarity going in, and also to set a baseline for anybody else who are first initiates. That's where I'm sitting today. Maybe some of you have humored this group before. I understand they are of recent debut, and that's kind of unlike other groups in the past that I've exposed myself to on this channel with European regard, right? Usually they come from recommendations. I'm part of viewer request, and I love to make good on that. I'm especially grateful to my audience for providing me so many different names, as I am taking an independent venturing into the European metal foray, and it's an experience I quite love. Just with music in general, it is the first love in my life, as I've said many times, and it's great to be able to enjoy it in company with you. I think it makes the music experience much better to enjoy mutually rather than just in isolation. There's an added benefit, at least in the way that I've seen it. I've stated that many times. But most of the groups that I consult, I'm coming to late. Again, fresh debut here. So that's promising, a bit different, unique. Already, we've got something jiving, I think. With some, again, as I said, a familiar association to past endeavors. Let's say, for example, Volturian. Italian-based modern metal there, Italian-based modern metal here. So I'm already keen on the direction. I'm sure this is going to sweep in quite nicely. Experiencing on a first debut, I love when this happens, right? This is a very special experience for me that I've noted with many other groups as well. Never Obey Again is just the latest edition. We're going to experience them together for the first time. I'm not sure what to expect again other than the European regard, and that's already promising in itself, and the genre focus, and the Scarlet Records connection. I'm looking forward to hearing where we're going to go, though. And this is, like I said, early days, fresh look. Take the journey with me, perhaps. Let this be your initiation of Never Obey Again as much as it is for me. And perhaps maybe your first step into the European rock and metal foray. And as I've said many times, once you step foot in here, you will not want to leave. I intentionally maintain a vast fixation abroad, because you find talent all over the place. But with Europe, particular zone of concentration for me. I can't get enough of it. Never Obey Again, though, like many groups, latest addition to the channel, newest adventure. Let's humor them together for the first time, starting with the Storm on order of the album Toxic Feelings. As I understand, this is, The End of the Era, I think is the name of it. Yes. This is track number 2. Alright, coming after the title track anyway. Already things are seeming to set in motion for a promising debut and exposure. Let's add a song to the mix. Never Obey Again. First exposure with the Storm. Together, perhaps. Or maybe you're getting the perspective of somebody who's very much taking a fresh listen, but you're already knowledgeable on this piece. If so, I hope, you enjoy this one too. Because music is better in company, right? And maybe you're reminded of the experience that you had, perhaps, when you initiated with this work for yourself. And maybe learned about the talents that Never Obey Again, I'm sure, will boast. I'm really curious, but maybe some of you are, again, taking that initiation journey with me. We're going to enjoy this together for the first time. Oh, hang on a second. Shoot. All right. Technical concerns aside. I love when that happens. Strong origin. Good vocal range. Ah, strong riff basis. I like that. Powerful. I like Carol's ferocity. Carol's our lead vocalist. I picked up on the name at least to credit accordingly. Oh, good drive.
near, no one can stand to be responsible. The agony's real. Are you feeling safe there? Are you feeling that here? Are you aware of this mess when you sip your drink? Fuck yourself, even coming home. We gotta leave this mess, gotta hit the road.
Beautiful O's. Nice sustain. Again, the variation on pitch. Great touch. Nice lingers. Beautiful transitional agent here.
Tear off the wrist, bury the soul of a golden youth. The same you lived before you got to where the scumbag moves. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel the difference from the man that is aiming to pull the trigger? On the other side, I hear thundering the drums. The rise of your
Nice carry.
price that you pay for.
This is a gorgeous piece on mapping. I'm loving the journey with it.
In power says there's a man, they don't belong, they're not human, and people believe it. I don't want words to describe this kind of behavior. I want words to stop
This is quite contemporary on Resonance. In fact, I just looked at the date. So 5 months ago. Again, very recent debut. And on Message, it fits.
Brace yourself, this is not a song. Those are the screams of pain from the fallen bombs.
I'm looking forward to exploring Never Obey Again in greater depth. That's a fun first experience, wasn't it? Beautiful debut. Strong resonance. Dominant, again, European metal never disappoints. Whatever type of subgenre you look at, and from whatever country of origin. Especially Italian metal, though. It's beautiful, beautiful structuring on these pieces. And from Scarlet Records. Good host of groups we've got so far. Again, Never Obey Again is one of, at present, 3 other outliers to the Frozen Crown family that I will be examining, at least on preparation. But they're all specific, I think, to their own directions, especially on genre focus. Never Obey Again has a close vibe for me to Volturian, again, on the modern metal regard, but even this is so distinct. Yeah, to be upfront, as many of you know, in terms of the music I consult, I intentionally maintain a wide focus on subfields within metal, right? Because there is some variance. I don't prefer to be too exclusive. But admittedly, I do tend to lean into the more aggressive on personal taste. I have for many years. So anything of that type of harder, headbang energy, something with a strong dominance to it, which this has. Strong riffs blended with beautifully emphatic percussion, exquisite vocal tailoring with pitch inflections and control. My word, Carol impressed me a lot at that debut. And I like, by the way, on the visualizer, this I don't think I've seen too many groups yet on my playlist that have carried a mainstay of orange. We'll have to see if that carries into other projects of theirs. I don't know for sure, but interesting independent flair, in my honest opinion. I'm looking forward, though, to more from them. And on lyrical delivery, this is quite strong. I think broad appeal. I like songs like that. Again, art is very much subjective, so when it comes to the listener's individual taste, right, songs might touch different chords and resonances. You have a song of it generally, if you consider the metal territory, certainly in the way that I approach it in company of others. Not as much on this channel. Again, many of you have reminded me that there is some adjacency in my personal tastes, but in my day-to-day life, there is no connection on music for me. Metal is just not something that typically jives with other people in my company, whether they be peers or close acquaintances. This theme, I think any metal person could relate to, again, of feeling perhaps like an outsider. I don't know, again, explicitly of what they were driving at, because I think, again, there's still a broad appeal. And it is quite contemporary when you watch the video as well. There are clear threads you could pull, especially over the last couple of years. This connects. But the feeling of being an outsider, like someone in power says those over there, they don't belong, they're not human. I mean, that feels particularly true to expressions of the world today in countries abroad. I'm sure, I can't speak as much for Italy, but I could maybe imagine a couple things. I don't know. I tend to intentionally not pay a diligent lens on the news. I needed a break. So in terms of world updates and what's going on, I'm like, I kind of like my little cubbyhole over here of engaging with the world on my terms, and right now I'd rather just spend time with the arts. And creative expression and intentional catharsis and honesty becomes through that. The mental landscape, as I've said many times, I prize it very much for that reason, for its rawness and its authentic lens. I have for many years on those grounds. Even though people in my personal life never understood why. It's not just the aggression in music that brought me in close harmony, it was the resonance and the connection. Music can do that. And a song like this, I think, connects very well, especially on a debut. Beautiful first performance. I'm looking forward to more. You want a good teaser. This is an interesting first footing. Cohesion, certainly among metal familiarity for me, with well-equipped portrayals on independent expression, whether it be on the vocals or the instrumental side. I'm game for more. I'd love to hear what your feedback is down below as well, and how you approach, right? I imagine many of us are looking at this from a fresh debut lens, but maybe some of you are familiarized fans to theirs since the debut of this track about, at least according to the YouTube citation of upload, 5 months ago. So again, a particularly recent standing. I'm not usually fresh on the ball with these things in terms of new artists. I'm always arriving late. So, point of departure. But I'm looking forward to hearing more. This is certainly a fun first debut to Never Obey Again, but a group of unique standing on the channel for sure, alongside many other advantageous European listens, and I'll add them in terms of regard. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on this piece. As I said, if you do wish to disclose your perspective. Be game for more. Next up is, we're listening to what's available from The End of an Era. I love the name, by the way. I wonder again if there is a real world thread. There is to this song, so I wonder if generally that's what the album is speaking to. I'll have to look deeper on that eventually. But next up is, I could go by visualizer order. I'm actually going to go by the order of track listings, so that might diverge from some others' experiences, but I don't know. I kind of like to see if there's a central narrative at play. Next is Toxic Feelings. I'm looking forward to that one specifically, but to get an introduction for the group, The Storm, strong first footing. I'm looking forward to more, especially in company with you. We're going to enjoy Never Obey Again in a great lens as of what's available presently, but I'm looking forward to future opportunities. That first step in. Solid introduction, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.